Do you ever feel like your spiritual life is just a pile of dry flour? You have the substance, you believe the right things, but you feel brittle, like one bad day could snap your resilience in half. We often try to fix this by just believing harder, but faith alone was never designed to be enough. This week's 7-minute Bible study unlocks the triad of grace, the operating system for a life of resilience. We'll go beyond the slogan and look at the original Greek definition of faith, hope, and love to discover why they are the three essential ingredients you need. We will review the one element that activates the mixture, causing your faith to rise and become something living and nourishing.
You've seen it everywhere, right? Faith, hope, and love. It's on coffee mugs, it's on wall art. It's kind of become this comforting little phrase. But what if it's not just a slogan? What if it's the actual operating system for a life of grace? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
See, it turns out there's this really deep interlocking structure at play here. This isn't just a list of nice words, it's a spiritual blueprint. And we're going to explore how this powerful triad really works.
To really get this, we've got to go back to the source, the original Greek of the New Testament. And we're talking about three specific, powerful words: Pistis, Elpis, and Agape. Trust me, each one carries a depth that our English words they just can't quite capture on their own.
Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation of it all. Faith, or in the Greek, pistis. So pistis is definitely not a leap in the dark. Our culture often frames faith as this kind of blind belief, but the original Greek points to something so much more solid. It's a deep persuasion, a moral conviction that's built on a profound reliance on God's character. At its core, it's all about relational trust and loyalty.
And the book of Hebrews makes this even clearer. It actually defines faith as the substance of things hoped for. Just think about that word for a second. Substance. It's not flimsy or imaginary. Faith itself is presented as the actual evidence of what we can't yet see.
To make this super tangible, let's think about baking bread. It's a great analogy for this. In this recipe, faith, pistis, is the flour. It is the core ingredient. It provides the body, the structure, the very substance of our spiritual life. Without the flour, you just can't make bread. It's that simple.
All right, let's move on to the second element and see how this all builds. Next up is hope, or as they said in Greek, Elpis.
And right away, we see a huge difference. In English, we use hope for wishful thinking, right? Like, oh, I hope it doesn't rain today. But biblical hope? It's the complete opposite. It is a confident expectation, an absolute certainty about the future. So Elpis isn't a wish. It's a joyful anticipation of a guaranteed outcome. It's this deep certainty that God's promises are true and that they will come to pass, and that gives us this incredible anchor right here in the present moment.
And there's that anchor imagery, pulled directly from Scripture. Hope is what keeps our soul sure and steadfast, even when the storms of life are just raging all around us. It's not passive at all. It's a powerful, stabilizing force.
So, let's go back to our bread analogy. If faith is the flour, then hope is the salt. Now, why salt? Well, in baking, salt actually strengthens the gluten structure. It allows the dough to stretch and rise without breaking apart. And that's exactly why faith needs a stabilizer. Hope gives our faith resilience, allowing it to endure suffering and pressure without completely falling apart.
And that brings us to the third, and honestly the most dynamic element of this whole triad: love. The Greek word here is the famous one, agape.
Now, this isn't just any love. We're not talking romantic passion or simple friendship. Agape is this profound, unconquerable goodwill. It's an intentional act of the will to seek the absolute highest good for other people, no matter how we feel. It's the very nature of God Himself.
And you really got to pay close attention to this verse from Galatians. It says the only thing that counts is faith expressing itself through love. This tells us that faith was never meant to be some static belief system just sitting in our heads. It's designed to be active, and its primary action is love. So, in our bread recipe, what does that make love? Love is the liquid and the yeast. And this is why faith needs an activator. Think about it. Without the liquid and yeast of love, that flour and salt mixture just sits there. It has substance, sure, and it's stable, but it's not alive. Love is what activates our faith, causing it to rise and become something living and nourishing.
So now we have our ingredients, right? Faith as the flour, hope as the salt, and love as the liquid and yeast. let's see how they work together in this amazing interlocking cycle of spiritual growth.
It's not a simple one-way street, not at all. It's this beautiful self-reinforcing cycle. God's love poured into our hearts generates a confident hope for the future. That confident hope then strengthens our faith, our trust in God's character. And then that strengthened faith expresses itself through acts of love, which, you guessed it, starts the whole cycle over again.
And this isn't just some nice theory. We see this cycle described perfectly right here in Scripture. Notice how each element has a really active role. Faith produces work, love prompts labor, and hope inspires endurance. They are all working together all the time.
This all brings us to that final, famous declaration from 1 Corinthians 13. I mean, if all three are so essential, why is love called the greatest? Well, the answer really boils down to the question of permanence.
Just think about it for a second. Faith is our trust in what we cannot see, but one day we will see. So faith will become sight. Hope is our confident expectation of what's to come, but one day we will possess it. Hope will become fulfillment. Love, however, love is different. Love is the very essence of God, and it's the one thing that won't just continue, it will actually define eternity. And so we land right here. Faith, hope, and love. All three of them remain absolutely essential for our journey right now. But the one that outlasts them all, the one that is both the means and the end, is love.
So what does all this mean for us, right here, right now? It means these aren't just virtues for us to admire. They are tools to be used in harmony. Let faith be your shield, protecting your trust. Let hope be your helmet, guarding your mind with the certainty of victory. And let love, Agape, be the animating power behind absolutely everything. Because a faith that doesn't act in love, well, that's just flour on the table. But a faith activated by love and stabilized by hope, that's the bread of life.
During this season of giving, look for one specific opportunity to display unconquerable benevolence to another person. Be the hands that deliver hope, which in turn will strengthen someone's faith and reinforce the entire cycle in everyone's heart. Faith activated by love and stabilized by hope is the bread of life. Go and live nourished. Until next time.